Most artists are spending thousands of dollars trying to promote their music and beat the algorithm, chasing playlists. They're posting on social media constantly, trying to get their song heard, and they're barely getting any results while they're ignoring this one strategy that bigger artists are using, labels are using to blow up songs, and they're ignoring it completely. Now, it's not posting on TikTok. It's not running Facebook and Instagram ads, okay? It's not playlist hacks or buying onto playlists. It's this one thing that anybody can do that we've been doing for years, even when selling CDs and vinyl or going to radio, and that's collaborations. That's right, collaborating with other artists. And there's 3 different ways you can collaborate with people. And I want to share with you why this is so important, okay? So number 1, you can obviously co-write with another artist, all right? Write another song with somebody. Just make that song better. The second way is you get them to feature on your song, whether that's singing on the song, rapping on the song, producing the song, but their name is on the song. This is what we did back in the day when we would sell CDs. There'd be that little sticker that says featuring this artist because they're already known. Well, that sticker is not just on CDs anymore. That sticker is on your Spotify profile. It's on your Apple. It's on your YouTube, on the song, right? And it says, oh, that artist is featured on it. I might not know you yet, but I know that bigger feature artist, so now I'm going to check out your song. And this is some of the best marketing you can possibly do. One of the things I share on my Spotify 5-day challenges is when you have another artist on your song, now not only can you pitch it to the editorial playlist, but they can also pitch it to the editorial playlist. So you get 2 kicks at the can, right? So their followers get notified as well, and also your followers get notified. And so like the Bible says, if one can put 1,000 to flight, 2 can chase 10,000, right? And so that means if you can get 1,000 streams on your own, by having somebody else on the song who's also promoting it, you can get 10,000 streams. But this is where a lot of artists kind of get their, knickers in a twist a little bit because they don't want to share any of the pie. They don't want to do any of the work. You don't want to share any of the publishing. You don't want to share any of the master. Or if you don't want to share the publishing or the master, pull out your wallet and pay for that feature and just buy them out, kind of almost like a hired gun if they're willing to do that. But sometimes bigger features, they might want money, publishing, and master. It all just depends, right? But if they've got 100,000 monthly listeners or less, they shouldn't be wanting that. I'm talking about way bigger artists, all right? And if they're going to be weird and awkward, then just don't work with them, okay? If they're going to get all weird about it, and move on to someone else. Because guess what? There's so many amazing artists out there that would love to work with you, and you paying $100, $150, maybe even $500, right? Even $1,000. For the right feature that's big enough, $1,000 could be the best marketing you ever spend. Because it's not just on Spotify that you're collaborating, and then YouTube and Apple Music, right? It's social media, right? I did a song with an artist the other day. It was for TV and film. And I didn't realize that they had a massive following on social media. They only had a smaller following on Spotify, but we loved the song. I just loved it so much I wanted to release it. It wasn't about tapping into their monthly listeners. It was just I love the music. And that's what it should be about at the end of the day, because if the music is dope, everything's going to grow. But we did a collaboration post on Instagram. And I noticed, I went to my feed, I'm like, dang, this collaboration post is getting 14,000 views in 24 hours. That's pretty big for me. And then I go and look at the person's profile, and they've got 1 million followers. So sometimes you're, collaborating with someone not because of their monthly listeners, right? Not just because of their amazing talent, which that should be number 1 is the talent, but maybe their social media following. Labels wanted me to collaborate with certain artists because they were on radio. And then when I realized that, I was like, hey, well, maybe I want to get this artist on my song because now I want to go to radio. Maybe I want to work with this artist so that I can play on this festival, right? Because they perform on this festival, and we kind of use these collaborations as leverage to open more doors. Just like I'm leveraging YouTube and social media right now to get this message out to you. Instead of, imagine me trying to talk to you one-on-one to all the people on YouTube, every single artist or musician, right? And that would take forever. Well, now I'm using YouTube to leverage and reach tons of people, hundreds of thousands of people, millions of people. Well, that's what you're doing by collaborating with other artists. You're leveraging their time, their talent, maybe their money, their relationships, their network, their friends. Like, one of the biggest things about a feature is like, hey, like if I'm featuring on an artist, I'm saying, hey, I sign off on this artist. I think they're awesome enough to work with. And that's a big deal because collaborations can open more doors to collaborations. We had an artist email me one time, wanted to collaborate, went and checked out their Spotify profile. I saw that they were working with one of my buddies. So I was like, hey, dude, these guys are legit. They're cool. Yeah, man, they're great to work with. Awesome. Okay, so that opened up more doors. What I was also saying to some students on my Spotify 5-day challenge, because I spend a whole day on this, and then I do Q&A. I'll put the link below, okay? We got the last one coming up. But maybe you want to work with a certain artist because you want to work with their manager or their booking agent. Oh, but let's maybe reverse it. Maybe you want to work with the booking agent so that you can work with the artist, or you want to work with the manager so you can get to the artist, right? Maybe you want to work with the artist to get to the record label, right? I share in my book, Fighter, 5 Keys to Conquering Fear and Reaching Your Dreams. This shares the whole story of how I went from 5 days a week to 4 to 3 to taking leave of absences to finally quit my job. And the struggle, we went through into $30,000 in debt, eventually ended up selling like 10,000 albums a week in Japan. Don't read this going to sleep. You can get a free copy of it with a free trial with Audible. But I share in here that I opened up for this artist, right? And they had just signed to this really big label. And I'd been trying to get signed to this label for like forever, it felt like. And he was like, well, dude, I can just bring your record to the president. And like within 6 months, we had a record contract on our desk. And what's wild about that is like I was sending emails. I was, trying to do showcases, sending packages out, trying to, get signed. But sometimes it's not what you know, it's who you know. And your net worth equals your net work. And sometimes like you want to work with other people so that you can like get in those rooms and know people and they can introduce you to people. Like, it's priceless. I've had friends introduce me to sync agents that got me $60,000 placements, or, because I met this person, they introduced me to this radio promoter or whoever it was. And I just want you to know, like, all this stuff is risky. The music industry is risky, but it's also the most amazing thing ever, because when music takes off, it takes off in a big way. But you've got to start by marketing and promoting it. And what will open up more doors than anything else, if you're not known yet, is a hit song, is a killer song. Now, if you don't have that yet, you got to get it. The second thing is if you got a good audience, like a real big fan base, there's more chances of people wanting to work with you, because a lot of times people say no, not because they don't like you, or they don't respond because they don't like you, or they don't care, or it's just they're too busy and they don't see you as a big enough opportunity yet. But a killer song will open that door, or a big wallet, or maybe a relationship. And that just comes down to like negotiating, right? But I'll tell you this, when you do finally get an artist, and I share deeper in this on the challenge, is that when you do get an artist or producer or whoever it is to respond to you, and they tell you their price, don't now negotiate them down to the point that you leave a sour taste in their mouth and now they don't want to work with you at all. It's like, hey, this is the price. This is what it costs to work with me. Okay? Like, obviously you don't see the value in it if you're just going to keep negotiating me down. It's like, okay, cool. You're like, awesome. Like, sure, you could negotiate. Like, if they're like, okay, it's $1,000, you could say, well, what if I gave you, 500 plus pub and master, right? Or something like that. And you can negotiate and be cool that way. But if they're like, no, I just want to get paid, well, then pull out your wallet. Because I'll tell you, at the end of the day, if you really believe in this song and you believe in what they're doing, you want to play the long game and not the short game. You don't want the short-term cash. You want the long-term equity. So I would much rather you pay more to get the feature. You own it completely outright, and then that way you can just do whatever you want with it. It blows up. You risk the most, so you get the most reward.